Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I kind of wanted to do a little sit down chat. So what I wanted to kind of like talk about today is something that I tweeted last night. But before we jump into that, if you could smash me a big thumbs up down below and subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'll forever be grateful. I'm trying to make my dream a reality, so every like, every subscribe, every share really helps me get one step closer. So let's get on to the video. So whilst I'm filming, I am going to be on my phone and I'm also going to be screen recording it. So I'm just going to go onto my profile and if you want to know, if you want to follow me, I'll put my username here on Twitter. Right, so I am now screen recording like what I'm looking at, so you guys will generally be able to see what I'm saying. So I basically tweeted, who else was always the last person to be picked to be a partner or to be picked for a team in school or college? This type of anxiety and insecurity is on another level. It's pure hell. Anyone else dread it when the word pick a partner or get yourself into a group are spoken? So for me at school, I was always picked last, like regardless of like if it's PE, you know, science, maths, drama, anything. I was kind of always left like dreading it because it always made me feel I wasn't good enough. So nobody really wanted to be paired with me because it was kind of like,
she's only gonna muck around, she doesn't know what she's doing, she's weird, she's not gonna help us in any way, so I don't want her in a group.
If I take a step back and I look at how I was in high school, in secondary school, okay, you know, my behaviour may have come across a little bit like, you know, well, ADHD, but I never meant any harm. You know, just because I may have acted in some way, my behaviour was definitely my way of communicating and expressing that actually this is making me feel overwhelmed, uncomfortable, I'm anxious. But not a lot of people obviously understood that. They were my age, you know, everyone in the year group kind of was in the same age bracket, so like 12, 13. So no one really understood kind of like what was going on. You know, even the teachers kind of didn't know what was going on half the time because my behaviour was so like
crazy.
But you know, I did not like netball, you know, I didn't. So as I got older, you know, girls, they grow some boobies and they become a little bit more self-conscious as you grow up because you get a little bit bigger up here, and when you're moving around, you know, it bounces. it bounces. it bounces. So you know, sometimes it's kind of a bit like self-conscious, but it came across that I was just being disobedient and I was lazy because I was choosing not to run around. So in PE, when the teacher would be like, oh everyone go pick a group, I was always the last person, and actually I was always a little bit more mature than the other girls in the hormone kind of way behaviour, and no, I wasn't mature in that way, but up here and you know, my figure was always a little bit more developed. I was a little bit more kind of puberty bound than a lot of other kids my age. You know, not a lot of people kind of understood, and I had big boobs. I have big boobs. So for me, when people say like, oh can you pick a group, I'm always like, oh my god, and I feel so anxious. I feel oh my god, I can't explain to you how it makes me feel. It's so bad. I'm like, oh no, oh my god, I'm just like, someone pick me, and it's the pure embarrassment, you know, when you're the last person and people say like, I don't want her in my team, or like I don't want her, or like, oh, when they realise, well, you're the last person so you have to go in their team, you know. And people will not even deliberately, they will like openly say that there's some brutal people out there that don't care about other people's kind of feelings. And you know, I've had it a lot of times where people have generally said like, I don't want you in my group, like you're not good at anything. You know, I've had that said to me like quite a lot of times, and I know that actually it is super damaging. And growing up, I became more and more aware, and when I knew that class assignments were going to be put into teams, I would generally truant those lessons. I wouldn't go, I'd bunk them, I'd make up like, oh, I don't know, you know, I just wouldn't go because I didn't want the pure humiliation of not being picked and people making it generally very clear they didn't want me in their group. It was horrible. Even in college, you know, as you grow up, you kind of feel like, oh, I don't really care if you don't pick me. But the thing is, yes, you do bloody care. It still hurts in your heart. Every time someone doesn't choose you, trust me, another little bit of your heart shatters because you're just like, why can't people just like me? Like, why do people not like me? And to some people, you know, they'll probably just think, well, I'm picking a team if I want to win, so why am I going to pick someone that doesn't want to get involved? The thing is, I do want to get involved, but I'm misunderstood. So if you don't want me in your group, then fuck off, basically. Like, I don't want to be in your group. But when you're a bit younger and teachers like, oh, I strongly believe that teachers shouldn't say that. I honestly, if people would just realise when you are vulnerable and you are a little different, you know, and you have your own quirky kind of ways, you don't even need to be ADHD, you don't even need to have autism. You know, people that, you know, are gay, lesbian, or they identify as a different gender, like transgender, these make people very vulnerable. If you have a very unique kind of out of the ordinary, you know, fashion sense, if you are very confident, these things can make you like a target to people. People will be like, I don't like that, because some people just like to, well, some people are just scared of, you know, people choosing and being confident, being different. People don't like that. So being different can actually kind of make you super vulnerable. And in situations, I do believe teachers and college lecturers or anybody, for example, should never say like pick a team. I do believe that is a trigger for a lot of people, and I know it made me not go to classes because I knew, oh, today we're going to be assigned a class, we're going to be assigned a group. And I'm being honest, I didn't want that humiliation. I didn't want to feel so, you know, downtrodden. I didn't want to feel like I wasn't worth anything, because I know if someone doesn't pick me, that's going to knock me, and my confidence is going to get even lower. I grew up with absolutely no confidence whatsoever. I never loved who I am. You know, I've always wanted to be someone else. I've always pretended to be who I am not. And it's only since being diagnosed have I become a bit more kind of confident in who I am. I'm starting to accept, actually, I like being different, because actually I have something that not everyone has, and you know, being unique is just one of a kind. Like people want limited edition stuff, so like I am limited edition because I have my own, you know, unique attributes that I can give to this world, and so do you. So I do honestly think that teachers, college lecturers, you know, hobbies like clubs and that, I don't think you should like allow kids to pick their groups or pick a team, because actually it's super triggering. And actually I do believe that it's actually traumatised me. And when I go places, if they're like, oh, just sit in a group setting and let's talk about, you know, when these icebreaker things, I am not comfortable doing that. I feel like you don't really get to see the true Molly if you put me in a group, because I naturally kind of push myself away because I'm scared of rejection. I'm scared of people laughing at me, judging me, pushing me away. I'm scared of being the last person picked because I know how that feels. So I do believe these icebreakers and these group activities people think actually work. They don't, because you won't actually see the true person, because a lot of people have anxiety. A lot of people will not feel comfortable in that setting, and it kind of makes you almost set people up for failure when you're expecting them to be okay, kind of being in a group discussing who they are, what they stand for, when they don't actually kind of feel, you know, when they are a vulnerable person. So I do think like group activities, like, oh, get yourself in a partner, I do feel like in schools, in college, that should be banned. Like, teachers should not ever ask students to pick, because when they pick, they are friggin' brutal. It's literally like a battle, and you have to like sit back and pretend like you don't care, but actually your heart is breaking and you're feeling like you're gonna pass out because the room is spinning from anxiety and you're just like, ah! So yeah, if you're a teacher watching this, please do not allow kids to pick their groups or their partner. Like, pick them for them, assign them before class starts. Never let anyone feel as though they are worthless, that actually I don't want to come to this class because I can't face not being picked for a team. Like, I just want you to know, you know, it is triggering, and it does cause kind of traumatizing effects in the future. I'm 22 and I still remember the pain and the anxiety, the hell that it causes when you don't get picked for a group, because you're just like, oh my god, nobody likes me, I'm rubbish. So yeah, I just wanted to like talk about that tweet, and I'm gonna read you some of the people that have answered me and share some of those experiences. I won't put their names on the screen because I haven't asked permission if they want to be on the camera, but I am gonna anonymously like read their stories, because I want people to realize that it's not a joke, it actually is traumatizing. So let's get on to some answers that I got on Twitter. So I'm just gonna open this up and hang on a moment. So I'm just gonna get it up on Twitter now, And I'm going to read you some of the replies because, like I say, I feel like it's super important not only to get my side of like across, but I want to get other people's side across, because it's not just me, and I want to prove to you it won't just be you that gets triggered by these like group activities on pick your partner. Like, I'm going to explain to you, and I mean not even explain, I'm going to prove to you you're not alone and you are not worthless. People would be lucky to have you as their partner, and the thing is, they don't realise how much of an attribute you actually are to their group, because they don't give you an opportunity or a chance, so they don't deserve you anyway. So I'm just going to share some other people's experiences. So some of the replies to my tweet were, ready? So this tweet actually got 142 likes, 20 retweets and 3 quote tweets. For me, as not a big kind of Twitter page, that's a lot for me. So right, a lot of people say, so some lady said, me, I get high anxiety whenever the lecturer says coursework is a group activity. Like, I totally get that, like I say. So this is it. Another one, I was often picked last or stuck with the only other unpartnered student in the class. I get that, I totally vibe with that. Another one, I've always struggled with team group activities. In high school, the teachers usually let me work on my own because of the problems I had with groups. I was always thrilled to do all the work myself instead of having to ensure the stress of finding a group. I totally feel that. Another one said, this was dreadful, but once or twice I was the only one, I was the one who had to pick, and all the girls refused to be in my group. I mean, girls can be really brutal, and I found that actually boys are not so bitchy. They're kind of like, oh well, you know, they don't make comments as often as girls. Girls are really bitchy, and they're brutal with their comments, like, and I'm not gonna lie, like, they are brutally honest. And I think that's another thing, like, girls just need to kind of shut the hell up, you know. Just because you don't like someone, you don't need to air you don't need to vent everything out in the open so everyone else can, you know, see that person's vulnerability. Just shut up and just get on with it. Like, what's the big deal? So another person said, I hated when we had to pick groups. I remember as a freshman in high school being told to pick a lab partner. I just had, hang on a moment. Sorry, this person, I had to reread it because I'm dyslexic, so sometimes I add words in and they don't make sense, and I'm like, whoa, it doesn't even say that. But yeah, this lady was saying, you know, she had to pick a lab partner and she thought that she had a friend in the class, so she naturally gravitated towards that person. But instead that girl was like, no, I don't want to work with you, and picked another person, and she felt humiliated, and it left her kind of triggered by that. So again, you know, some people can be brutal. This was a male, not only picked last, but the unfortunate group or team would often openly express their disappointment for being stuck with me. I totally feel that. Like, it makes you have like this lump in the throat, and you try not to like cry or show that you're upset or like hurt by their comments, and you're left feeling like really like shit about yourself, and you just feel like you just honestly feel humiliated, and you're just like, I don't want to be here. And do you know what, it makes me want to cry, because talking about it just brings back that horrible, like, it's in the pit of your stomach feeling, and you just feel so kind of like downtrodden, and like you just feel worthless. Like, it's horrible. Like, some people are just freaking horrible. Like, people look at you as if, you know, oh, you've got behaviour problems, I don't want nothing to do with you. But the thing is, once you get to know us, trust me, there's nothing broken about us. Actually, we're probably more put together than you. So yeah, just yeah. So this is another one. It got so bad in college that my tutors stopped letting us pick and assigned us groups randomly. They did this because he knew how I felt. I felt sick every time. Do you know what? Hearing it really does make me upset. Like, I'm not going to cry because, you know, I have mascara on and I don't feel like... But, like, I feel every single word of these. I feel it, and it's absolutely horrible. Like, it's a horrible feeling. I totally get it. Like, I understand teachers have a job. Totally get it. I want to be a teacher. Totally get it, and I understand that sometimes, you know, you just can't make everybody happy, and I totally get that, because, you know, these teachers don't ask these students to make comments that are just totally uncalled for. Like, they don't ask for that. But, you know, I do think that teachers should have a little bit more of awareness around this issue, because it's not okay to have a child or an adult, young adult, teenager feel as though, you know, they're not worth anything, like they're below, like people just don't like them. I feel like this is honestly, for me, I know actually this has traumatized me. I know group surroundings, you know, being in parties, you know, being in groups. I don't like being in groups because I feel rejected even though I'm welcomed. I feel like I'm not wanted there. And I just feel like that could be an issue. That could be like some type of trauma that I will need to speak about one day. And I do, like, since opening up, I feel like actually this is a part of me kind of accepting that actually this happened to me and it hurt me. So I want you guys to know that any little bit of trauma or anything that you feel uncomfortable about talking about, you know, you should communicate, because actually talking about it makes you feel just a little bit better, and you don't realise how many people actually understand you and get you. So yeah, so for today's video I just wanted to touch up on that, because I know I'm not going to be the only one that has to deal with this awful, horrible anxiety. Like, it is hell. So if you have dealt with it, please, like, just let me know down below in the comments, and if you've got any topics you want me to talk about in the future, let me know. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.